People go, what's your biggest fear in life?
You ever feel like nothing good was ever gonna happen to you?
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate.
I have spent my whole life scared.
Fear is the path to the dark side.
If you didn't withdraw in fear from everything that life threw at you, who could you become?
The best way to fight the demons that chase you in the night is to stop and turn around.
Fear is an illness. If you catch it and you leave it untreated, it can consume you.
Fear wasn't real. He said it wasn't made of anything, it was just air.
Fear is not real.
Fear is my friend. Fear allows me to reach my highest potential.
There is no shame to admit that you're afraid.
Believe in yourself.
Never fear a storm.
Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
If you can teach people to stand up in the face of the things they're afraid of, they get stronger.
Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain.
You can either live your dreams or live your fears.
Because there is no courage without fear. And when I made peace with that, it changes everything in my life.
You learn things painfully. And when you learn something painfully, a part of you has to die. That's the pain. You know, when a dream is shattered, for example, a huge part of you that constituted that dream, maybe even the biological substrate of that dream, has to be stripped away and burned. And so, life is a constant process of death and rebirth. And to participate in that fully is to allow yourself to be redeemed by it.
What are the things that you fear that's been keeping you from living your dream? That's been keeping you from doing some things that you would like to do? Just think about those things. You must be willing to go forward and face your fears again and again and again. It's a difference between having a fear and the fear having you.
Bravery is not the absence of fear. Bravery is feeling fear and moving forward anyway.
The fear is never reaching your potential. That always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing. And then one day you're an old man and you look back and go, God, I could have been great. It could have been great.
Winning never visits you in your daydreams. It sees you in your nightmares. The things that you come visit you in your nightmares, those things are real. Those are the things that you have to deal with. Those are the monsters underneath the bed. Those are the skeletons in the closet. Those are the things that you've put away. And some of the stuff that you've put away and you don't want to deal with is some of the best part of you.
Many fears is it that you are dealing with, but ultimately you conquer them. And then the outlook on the rest of the life looks different. It changes something inside of you. It changes the perspective, how you are looking at things, where you see other people, they are living in fear, but fear of nothing.
It's like you're not as good as you could be, so you let that part of you die. And if someone comes along and says, you know, there's some dead wood here, man, it needs to be burned off. You think, well, that stuff's still a bit alive. When that burns, it's gonna hurt. It's like, yeah, well, no kidding. But maybe the thing that emerges in its place is something better.
Now, fear and courage tend to be habits. That if you are afraid and you give in to the fear and you back away, it becomes a habit to back away whenever you're afraid or unsure. If you're afraid and you force yourself to confront the fear, it becomes a habit to confront the fear whenever you find something that you're afraid of. And you'll find that most fears disappear when you confront them. And most fears, fears of failure, fears of rejection, fears of loss, fears of pain, fears of limitation, fears of the loss of a relationship, fears of ill health, most of these fears disappear when you confront them head on.
That if I wanted to be the best person that I could be, that I needed to go where the fear is. Go where the fear is. Go where the fear is.
Everything that you ever wanted is on the other side of fear.
Don't fear failure. Dream big. Work hard. Stay positive. Enjoy the journey.
Learn to dance in the rain.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. You got a dream, you got to protect it.
It starts with yourself, man. You gotta start diving into those things that you are afraid of. You don't gain confidence by going to the spot that makes you feel good. It's gonna be a false reality. And the second life gives you that challenge, all you wanna do is go back to what gave you confidence, is that happy spot. No, what gives you confidence? What gives you confidence, not being afraid, is overcoming the fear.
How do you overcome fear? The first thing you've got to realize is that most of the fear that you have isn't a reality, it's just built up in your head. So what you need to do to overcome your fear is to go and face it, go and look at it, go on the attack, move towards it. That's what you need to do if you're afraid of something. Don't hide from it. The more you hide from it, the bigger it gets.
We're trying so hard in our lives to fit in. Yet the people we idolize are the ones that stand out. But when you're prepared, there is no fear. There is no fear of failure, okay? Because even if you've walked out of something and you feel like you failed at it, your preparation is so strong that you're gonna take that failure and turn it into the outcome you desire.
You should be scared. You should be anxious. You should be worried. You should be concerned. You know what that means? That means you actually give a fuck about what you're trying to do.
I used to think that if you were really courageous, eventually you got to the point where you weren't afraid. I'm going to tell you something, that if you're not a little bit afraid, at least 3 or 4 nights a week, you're not trying hard enough. If you're not falling on your face over and over again, if you're not trembling when you go to sleep with your heart pounding, then what is happening is you're not trying hard enough. You're living too far within your potential. That all really successful people live on the outside edge of what they're capable of. And it's always a little bit scary on the outside edge because we all have feelings of uncertainty. We all have fears. We all have doubts that hold us back. But the brave person is simply the person who moves forward and keeps taking the chance.
You begin to trust yourself and put yourself in the situation where you have to make it happen. You will make it happen. I know that you've got greatness within you. I know that you have unlimited potential in you. I know that you have something to give to the universe. And what kind of gift could you give if fear wasn't an issue? And I'm saying you can have fears, but don't surrender. Don't let your fears have you.